up? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. This is an episode of Knit Notes, and I'm going to talk about my projects, finished objects, work in progress, some inspiration for future projects, and just a couple of other random things that I've been loving throughout the month. Today is Sunday. I've had a really chill day today because, to be honest, when I woke up, I was a little bit hungover after seeing some good friends last night, having a couple drinks. I'm actually a lightweight, not the lightest of lightweights, but definitely light enough to have a couple of drinks and get a headache the next day. So that's what I was dealing with. I'm on my second cup of coffee, along with a giant bottle of water to get myself through the day. Feeling a lot better though. I took a very nice afternoon shower, which, if you know, you know, afternoon showers are just like inexplicably amazing, fantastic, refreshing, freeing, grounding. And I've been going back and binge watching a lot of my favorite shows. I've watched Survival of the Thickest a ton of times. The second season just aired. I don't actually have no idea when the second season came out, but the second season came out. I found out about it, binge watched that. Right when it finished, I went back and rewatched the first season. I'm telling all my friends, if you haven't seen it, you should go see it because it's one of my favorite comfort shows. It's a feel-good show, I would say, and it's absolutely fantastic. Michelle Buteau I think that's how you pronounce her name. Michelle Buteau is the main character, and she is absolutely fucking hilarious. I love it. Now I am rewatching Girls. I haven't watched that since I was in college, so I'm kind of rewatching it now since I have HBO and I'm about to cancel it soon because White Lotus is over. Last night I was really wanting to watch Alice in Wonderland, the animation, so I subscribed to Disney Plus. I've never had Disney Plus too, and I realized there's a lot of really awesome stuff that I've loved as a kid, so I want to go back and watch as much of that as I can for the next month. And anyway, that's been my Sunday. It's been really chill, and I'm very thankful for it. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you have something to drink because we're gonna be chatting about stuff, okay? You see it in the title, you can see it in the comments. I'll put chapters in the middle, make it quick and easy for you to just kind of like click on what you're interested and skip what you're not interested in, because it's a little bit, you know, it's not all over the place, but I have a lot of interests, okay? Anyway, let's get started. The agenda is we're going to do finished objects. I only have one, so I have one finished object. I have whips. I'm going to talk about some knit plans for the summer, and then I'm just going to throw in some April favorites of things that I've been loving, because why not? FYI, this is not a mic. This is my tape measure. I just like to hold it and pretend that it's a mic. First things first, finished objects. And I'm very excited to share that I finished my first knit sweater. I knitted the pattern by Kudabakika, the YouTuber that I came across and got me super into knitting over the past few months. I love her content. I love how simple her content is. It seemed like she would have patterns that are pretty easy to follow, being a beginning knitter, so that is what I did. This is it. I did this with Cascade Heritage yarn, which is a fingering weight superwash, 75% wool, I believe, and 25% nylon, so it's actually supposed to be machine washable, but I'm probably not going to machine wash it just because I don't want to risk it coming unraveled. On the back, there are short rows shaped the neckline, and I didn't want to get mixed up on which is the front and the back, so I put this little cherub charm that I got last weekend. My modifications didn't really go as planned for this because I ran out of yarn. It ended up being more true to what the pattern actually shows. This is her on. I knitted a size small, but I ran out of yarn and I definitely didn't want to buy more. And I was kind of freaking out because I finished the body, went on to the sleeves, mid-sleeve, realized that I wasn't going to have enough yarn. So I had to basically put the sleeve on pause, go back to the body, rip it back and make the body shorter, finish my 2 sleeves, and then use whatever I had left for the bottom hem. So I actually wanted the bottom ribbing to be really thick. I was gonna have like a really thick ribbing on the arms, really wide, and then on the bottom and have it be more oversized. But I think I did a pretty good job considering this was my first, and I'm definitely truly in love with knitting garments now. Kind of obsessed with it. I actually haven't even washed it, and I'm probably not going to because it's gonna take a lot of time. Yeah, this is it. I love her. She is amazing. I'm so pleased with how easy the pattern was to follow, even though I had to start over a bunch of times, but that's mainly because I didn't know what I was doing. Now that I know what I'm doing, I feel like it would take me a lot less than 2 months to make another. I really like the yarn combination that I did. The 2 colors together, it kind of gives it a bit of a marled effect, which I think gives the fabric a lot of dimension that I like. I guess I'm really into blue these days. Okay, I'm taking this off because it's very hot. Next up is a summer tank that I'm knitting, also a pattern by Kuda Fakika. It's called the Summer Breeze Top, and I'm knitting it in Kobu yarn by Lion brand, which is a 51% cotton and 49% rayon, if I'm not mistaken. Rayon from Bamboo, and it is in the color white. I have a ton of this yarn because I was kind of in a phase where I just got back into crocheting, and I was like, I want to basically redo my wardrobe with handmade garments, and I want it in all natural fibers. And this was before I knew anything about knitting garments and what kind of fibers work for what purposes. So I have a ton of cotton yarn, and I have them in pretty nice colors too, but now I know that cotton is very different from wool. The way it drapes is very different. It can be quite heavy and not as lightweight as some wools like merino wool can be, or even lighter mohair. Right now, because summer is coming up, it is April, working on my summer knits. I might have enough of this to actually make it into a dress. My initial plan was from this inspiration image I found on Pinterest, where it's actually a tank with a mock neck that comes up to here, a white tank, but it actually looks like a more fuzzy mohair fiber, and I think it's so cute and classy. But I was trying to do a bunch of research and looking up if people mix mohair with cotton, and it doesn't seem to be all that recommended because the fibers behave differently. So it seems like cotton plant-based fibers will just stretch, and they don't really, there's no elasticity, and it doesn't spring back. Mohair is, I think it's like wool fibers around like a silk core. People sometimes don't recommend putting those two together. I still want to make that top though, and we'll talk about that later. Maybe you guys have some suggestions on what kind of yarn I can use for it. This went by really fast. It's flying off my needles. Today is Sunday, and I started this on either Tuesday or Wednesday, so only in just a few days I've gotten this far, which is really great. I'm knitting these on 3.25 millimeter needles. The pattern calls for 3 millimeter needles, but I don't have those. I use the Takumi, the interchangeable ones with cables. Takumi doesn't make these interchangeable ones in 3 millimeter. I believe the smallest it goes down to is 3.25, which is what I have. And for the collar and the sleeves, the pattern calls for the ribbing to be knit in 2.5 millimeter, which I also don't have. I have 2.75 with an attached cable. Because of that, I'm knitting it on slightly larger, you know, like 0.25 larger cables. So I decided to knit a size extra small because I think my gauge is going to be a little bigger than what is recommended. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on how that goes. Going by really fast, so I hope I can finish it soon. I still haven't decided if I'm going to do a dress or just a tank, but we'll see. The reason is because once I get down to the waist booty area, I don't know how to make those increases yet, and I'm afraid if I just go straight down, it might not fit on the body as well. Next whip is something that I have started like probably 12 months ago to date. I feel so bad. This is when I first got back into crocheting. I've completely fallen in love with knitting, but crocheting I kind of have a love-hate relationship with, partially because of this project. This is what I have so far. It looks really nice. It's also 100% cotton yarn by Lion brand, and I'm making a granny square jacket, over jacket, outer jacket, I don't know what it's called. The granny square shirt, short sleeve with a little bit of ribbing on the edges and some buttons down the middle. I'm making that for my husband. There's so many reasons why it's taken me over a year to keep working on this. One, because I have realized that I absolutely just do not like granny squares. There are so many ends to weave in. I did not know it was going to be so tedious. Now I know, but I still really want to finish it because I told my husband that I wanted to make him a shirt, and this is what he requested. The other challenge is that making menswear takes so long, and it takes so much yarn because they're so much bigger than what I would wear or knit for myself. I think it's gonna come out really nice. I just have to keep going. I kind of have a deadline on this now because we are planning to go to Mexico City in July. I'm hoping maybe are gonna be my only 2 whips that I'll be working on because I want to finish both of these for us to be able to wear them in Mexico City in the summer. Okay, that was so exciting. Next, we're gonna talk about my summer knit plan. This might kind of seem all over the place, but I swear I'm like trying to keep it as organized as I can. Let's go to my Pinterest board where I have a 2025 knitting plans board. I basically have on Pinterest a general knitting plans board where I have over 300 images saved there as inspiration. And from that very general board, I pull out things that I think I want to finish this year for 2025. So it kind of keeps me a little bit more focused. All right, here is my 2025 knitting projects board. Scroll down to the very bottom. There's not a lot here because, like I said, I'm trying to keep myself more focused so I don't get too sidetracked. There's still more things on here that I feel like I can finish by the end of the year, but that's okay. I can always move it into the next year. First image here is actually my inspiration for the cinema sweater that I made. The color is very similar, and this is where I talked about I actually wanted to do the thicker ribbing at the sleeves and the bottom, which didn't really work out for me, but that's okay. Hopefully, maybe sometime in the future I can make another one like this. I'm still happy with what I created in the end. I'm just gonna go to the tanks. This is the fuzzy kind of mohair mock neck white tank that I really want to make. I think it's so cute, and I know that mohair or like fuzzy fiber like this is a little bit warmer in the summer, but I am someone that tends to run a little bit colder. I feel like I'm always cold, so I don't think this would be too much a problem for me in the summer, but we'll see. Either way, I think you can easily layer this. It's not too tight to the body too, so I think you could still get a nice breeze through it. I love the look of that mock neck, so classy, and I think you can dress it up or down. Like in this photo right now, it's very, very casual, but this could easily be a work appropriate top. Throw a jacket over it, wear it over some nicer like dress pants. I think it's just a very versatile basic, and it would be really comfortable. Another summer top that I want to make is this one here with the very interesting, I don't know what you would call it, but it's kind of like a ribbing detail, like a more unique ribbing detail with those loose stitches in the center. And I actually don't have a pattern for this. I haven't really looked for it yet. I'm just kind of working on the Sweet Breeze top by Kuda Bakiko right now to make a plain, kind of more basic tank or tank dress. And then I will probably go look for something that resembles this garment. If you are watching this video and you know of a pattern that looks like this, please definitely link it down in the comments and I would love to buy it. Okay, next is I actually have, this is not really summer, but like I said, I tend to run a little bit colder. Even in the summer sometimes I can get pretty cold. I think where I live too, at night it can still be a little bit chilly. Lucky for me, I get to wear sweaters maybe all year round. I did a big purchase from Holskarn, which I hope is coming soon. It's my first purchase from Holskarn. And if you don't know Holskarn, I learned it from other YouTube knitters. Oh, don't quote me on this. This is what I learned from another person's video. I think it was Amy's video. Her name is Knee Knits on YouTube. So she actually just came out with a video trying almost all of the Holskarn yarns. I don't know if I heard this from her video or from someone else's video. It might have been someone else. I'm so sorry. Someone did explain that the reason why their yarn is a little bit more affordable is because they don't do kind of like super extensive treatment on it. I ordered a cone of Holskarn's Tides, which is their wool and silk blend, 500 grams in cream, and that's what I'm planning to use with for this sweater. I don't think I'm going to make it furry or anything. I'm just going to knit the whole thing in Tides, keep it really light, maybe do it in one strand and see how it drapes, just really simple. And especially for a summer knit, I want it to be lighter and not so thick. Hopefully I have enough. I'm a little worried that 500 grams is not going to be enough, but if it's not, I'll just order a little bit more. I like this inspiration image because it's different from the cinema sweater that I made. The cinema sweater is a raglan construction. This image here, it shows a saddle shoulder construction. I was looking around. I'm thinking of trying to knit this using Petite Knit's Sonia sweater pattern. It's a saddle shoulder construction, oversized, and I can just make my modifications to the sleeve ribbing and the bottom hem as I like it. I think that'll be a good fit, so stay tuned on that. If I have the chance and my hands are still, my wrists are still healthy from not knitting too much, I potentially might want to try and knit this one because this sweater is, it looks like an asymmetrical button-down top in the front. I love the stitch details that are on the shoulder seams and the edging. I think what I can do is knit it in the cotton yarn that I have. It's looks like a super, even though it's long sleeve, it's really light and breezy. So I think the cotton yarn that I have would be perfect for this project. I actually have cotton in, let's see, I have more of the Kobu in this green, like mossy green color. I have it in yellow. It could be really, really cute in yellow. I even have Kobu in a dark blue. And I might not have enough of this, but I actually have it. This color is more similar to the inspiration photo, but this is denim. And I really like how they did it with the blue and black, but for right now, undecided. Okay, Moving on, I think I just want to talk about summer knits right now. We can go into fall later. We should keep it at that because realistically that might be all I can do. So let's talk about some April favorites. I have some beauty products, music, and a house thing that I have been loving and excited about. Let's do music. I have my little JBL speaker here. I probably had this since high school and she's still going strong. These are so like resilient because I've had this thing just totally forgotten about for years, and I pull it out and when I go to use it, she still charges perfectly. She sounds amazing. It's better than playing music off my phone. So for music, there's actually an artist that I have just gotten into these past couple days, a Japanese singer. Her name is Leina, and I have been loving her music so much. It's literally only been a couple days since I've started listening to her. She's like 20 years old, but her music just feels so nostalgic to me and so refreshing. She has a really timeless sound, in my opinion. I have no idea what she's saying. I don't speak Japanese, but her music just feels lighthearted, like she's living her best life. Yeah, I'll put some recommendations of her songs that I like down below, but I think you should go check her out. I was telling my cousin, who I like to share music with, I was like, if I were a Swiftie, I'm not a Swiftie, but if I were a Swiftie, she would be my Swift. One fragrance combination that I've been loving, it is spring now, and outside of my apartment, my landlord has beautiful roses planted and all of them are blooming. They're all different colors, and that kind of inspired me to do this fragrance combination. It's Aesop Quill. It's actually almost gone, but I have been combining Aesop's Quill and Diptyque Rose. Quill is really strong, so I like to do the rose spritz first, and this Diptyque Rose smells exactly like real roses, which is why I love it. 1 or 2 sprays of this, and then I'll spray kind of Quill into the air and walk through it. These two smell like you just walked into a luscious, fresh spring garden with roses and cedar trees, and yeah, just a couple more things in beauty. Lately, I don't want to rock my natural features a little bit more. Yeah, going to work every day, I will do like a light base, which everything I use is Vive. So I'll kind of do a combination of either the balm or just the concealer, or a little bit of both together, depending on how my skin is feeling that day. And this is on top of, like, you know, skincare sunscreen. And I use the Vive Blush Balm, which I'm almost out of this because I use this one every day. I love this color. It's the Piazza color, sun-kissed kind of look. This is how dark it is. And then when you pat it out, it just looks like a nice little bronzy, blushy balm on my cheek. So throw that on. I've actually gotten back into doing brows because I had bangs before, so my bangs were totally covering my brows. But now that my bangs have grown out, I feel like I just kind of use this Anastasia brow brush, brow gel, and run it through a little bit. And then I throw on mascara, which is also a Vive mascara. I love this one. I actually have 2, a newer one and this older one. But the older one, because it's a little bit more, the formula is a little bit more dried out, I can throw 2 coats on and it just holds. Feeling really fresh with that kind of minimal makeup look, and I've been into it. Next favorites for April is, this is so basic, but it's my Stanley cup. I am someone who is not good at drinking water, and I've been kind of slacking on my water these days, so this is so silly. But now that the weather is warmer, I put cold water in here from the fridge. I usually drink hot water, especially through the winter. It just warms my body, and I'm like an old Asian grandma, and that's what I do. But now that it's a little warmer, Cool water feels refreshing, and it works really well in this thing. That is helping me drink more water. Last thing in beauty is I have been switching up my glasses a little bit more. I have one pair of glasses that I really need to get lenses in. I've been holding on to them for a really long time, and once I get lenses in them, I hope I can wear them more. They're really cute. They're like really light, transparent green. I've been rocking these ones a little bit more, which are from Eyewear Love Affair in Oakland, and I got these made into transitional glasses, so when I go out into the sun, these turn into sunglasses. But I kind of have been neglecting these a little bit because when I go to work, I have like over-ear headphones on, and the way that these arms are, they kind of dig into the back of my ears and it hurts quite a bit, so I don't wear these as often. But on the weekends or when I'm at home, I've been throwing these on a little bit more, because usually I wear my big square granny glasses, and I love those, and everyone loves those. I still get compliments on them all the time because it has a really cool dropped arm. They're also from Eyewear Love Affair, and those are my like most highly complimented glasses. These are really cute too. They've got a really dramatic cat eye to them. Last but not least, the final nominated item, which is a home goods item, is our new robot cleaner. We've had it for less than a week now. The robot cleaner is something we've been wanting for years. We have 2 cats at home. I know it's nothing like having kids, and I don't want to complain about a messy house when I just have 2 cats and no kids. With pets at home, there's like dust and litter and fur everywhere. So worth it. We also got it like 50% off because we bought one of the used ones instead of one completely brand new. We have like a schedule for it to go do like a light cleaning of the whole house starting at like 7 in the morning. So it's kind of nice to like wake up to a slightly freshly vacuumed house. That is something that I get really excited about in my adult life. That was a whole lot of ramble. Maybe in the next episode in the series, I can mix it up a little bit because I know it's a lot. It's like super knit heavy in the beginning. I'm enjoying just like figuring out how I like to do things, what works, what doesn't work. If there's anything that I mentioned that you love or are interested in knowing more about, you can put it in the comments down below. I am very excited to keep you updated on my knitting journey. Hopefully by the next couple of months, I will have more finished objects to share or just more progress in my projects to show. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, weekend or weekday, whenever you are watching this. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.